I dated a murderer. I had just gotten out of an 8-year abusive relationship and had met someone on a popular dating app. To be honest, I wasn't really looking for anything serious, just someone to go watch a movie with or have a drink with every now and then. I had 2 boys and was happy and living a peaceful life on my own after going through hell. So I met this guy named Aaron, who's just a couple years older than me, and he'd really turned his life around. When he was younger, he used to be in gangs and involved in drugs, and now he was into working out and staying really fit, and doing plenty of family stuff. I guess you could say I felt protected by him. He was a hard worker, self-sufficient, had a son, and he loved going to the gym every day. I had a kind of crazy past myself, but overcame it, so we seemed like a good fit. We would go to dinner, movies, just normal casual dating stuff. But he eventually wanted to spend more and more time together, and I was having trouble giving up all my free time for him, and he would get angry about this, like, really, really angry. After being with my controlling and possessive ex for so long, this was obviously a red flag, and so after 3 months, I told him I didn't want to see him anymore. He said he needed to confess something to me. He admitted that he was using steroids, and that was the reason for his mood swings. He cried and said he was sure that this was the reason and was willing to stop taking them if it meant he could have another chance, and I obliged, but only under the condition that we remain friends. Things were okay for a while. We saw each other every other week, but he started wanting to see me every week, to which I told him I wasn't interested in being anything other than friends at the moment, since I wasn't ready for a relationship. He tried to talk me into giving him another chance, but I just didn't find myself really interested in him in a romantic way, so I insisted some more that we just be friends. I stopped talking to him because I got mad at his insistence that we still talk every day, because he says that's what friends do. He would always ask about my whereabouts and ask for pictures of who I was hanging out with, and I told him that this is not what friends do, but he insisted he just innocently wanted to see what I was up to. Fast forward 6 months later, and I hadn't spoken to him at all within that time. I was happy and living my life, and one night while my youngest son was at his dad's, I went out to a local bar with some friends. My oldest son, who was 13 at the time, was home alone, so I made sure to leave a little early to make it home around 10 p.m. When I got home, I lay down in bed and went to sleep. So just a little information on my living situation. I had been living in my condo for almost a year now, and we lived in a great, safe community. And I would leave my patio sliding glass door open with the screen closed to get a breeze at night. No biggie. My bedroom was close to the patio, and my son would sleep in the loft that was closest to the front door. I'm dead asleep when I suddenly feel someone slowly get into my bed. I'm laying in bed wondering why my son would come get in my bed so slowly. He wouldn't. I slowly turn around, and it's not him. It's Aaron, laying down in bed next to me. I sat up fast and asked him how he got in. He said that he needed to talk to me. Said, okay, but when you need to talk to someone, you don't sneak into the room in the middle of the night. You call them or leave a note for them. Literally anything but this. I'm thinking I'm gonna kill my kid for letting him in. Aaron said, I don't have your number anymore. I need to talk to you before it's too late. I didn't even bother to entertain the before it's too late part because I was livid, but something told me to keep my cool. I sit up and say, look, I really want to talk to you too, but not like this. Please, just leave, and I promise we'll talk tomorrow. I'll text you tomorrow. He gets up and walks over to my side of the bed and starts rubbing my shoulders, and he's making his way up to my neck. He says, do you really want to talk? I look at him in the eyes and say, yes, I've been wanting to talk to you, but not like this. Please, I'll text you tomorrow. He stares at me while rubbing my neck and goes back down to my shoulders and finally lets go. Says okay and proceeds to exit through my patio door and jumps my patio wall, which tells me that's exactly how he got in. I freaked out, checked on my kid, who had no idea what was going on, and locked all my doors and didn't sleep for the rest of the night. The next day I texted him and told him that if I ever see him near me or my complex, I will call the police and to never contact me again. If you're wondering why I didn't call the police to begin with, I knew he had a gun, so I was scared of being retaliated against for being a snitch, and I figured if I called the cops, they probably wouldn't do much, or they'd just let him out, and I was afraid of what he'd do after the fact. Either way, he left me alone, and I didn't hear from him for years. 4 years later, I'm going through Facebook, and and I see his face in the people you may know recommendations. I click on the picture and notice it looks like a mugshot. I scroll down the page and his most recent post is him posting his address for his family members to write to, a prison address. So I googled his name, and sure enough, articles after articles, all with the same headline: man arrested on suspicion of killing his girlfriend. About 2 years after him and I dated, he shot and killed the girl he was dating. That could have been me, and I feel awful thinking that I could have done something to stop him. But the scariest thought is that he only got 12 years for her murder, and I have no idea what he'll do when he gets out. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy listening to true crime or the creepiest stories from the internet, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and make sure to comment down below. I'll leave the link to the original Reddit post where I found this story in the description box down below. If you have a story you'd like for me to read, I'll leave my email in the description box down below. Send it to me there. But until next time, good night.